Well, good morning, everyone. Wanted to start this morning talking about a good friend and a man who we lost yesterday in Louisville, Junior Bridgman. And it's only appropriate that we're here at Junior Achievement because one of Junior's many accomplishments and many awards that he received during his lifetime was the recognition as someone who's been enshrined in the Junior Achievement Hall of Fame. I think he was enshrined in the Hall of Fame certainly because of his business acumen, his ability to create jobs and businesses and positively impact so many lives through business. But even more than that, Junior did so much outside of the business world, quietly helping people all across our city, people and organizations that were in need of a helping hand. And Junior was there so often for others, never seeking recognition, just wanting to do the right thing, wanting to help other people. One of the most kind and generous men I've ever met. And Rachel and I send our thoughts, our prayers, our love, our support to Doris, to his children and grandchildren and entire family, and the entire city of Louisville truly lost a groundbreaking legend yesterday. So please join me before we start for a brief moment of silence in honor of the one-of-a-kind Junior Bridgman. Thank you all very much. And again, it's an honor to be here at Junior Achievement today for that reason, but also because we're able to announce the start of the 15th season of SummerWorks, a program that gets people started into the private sector, into the job world, into the world of creating businesses, just like Junior Bridgman was so successful at creating. SummerWorks started 15 years ago as a pilot program, a small pilot program that a handful of youth across our city were able to participate in. And now it's grown into a citywide effort with employers of all sizes from all industries giving youth opportunities. And I'm proud to share that this year will be better than it's ever been before, thanks to the leadership of Michael Gritton and our colleagues at Kentucky Works, who do an amazing job every year planning, promoting, and implementing the SummerWorks program. This season, participants will have the opportunity to work at Louisville's leading private sector companies like GE Appliances, Humana, Kentucky Kingdom, Kroger, UPS, Norton Healthcare, and more. SummerWorks will also be providing more than 200 jobs at local nonprofit organizations and city agencies. This includes work and learn experiences that give youth a hands-on introduction to careers in technology, entrepreneurship, skilled trades, and more. So if you live in the city and you're between the ages of 16 and 21, or if you know someone who lives in the city and is in between the ages of 16 and 21 that you think would benefit from this amazing experience in the SummerWorks program, please visit summerworks.org to learn more about available jobs and to sign up for the program. You can also get help there creating a resume and signing up for job readiness training. At its core, SummerWorks is all about setting up our city's young people for success. And that's another reason why we're here at Junior Achievement of Kentuckiana. They share this mission and serve as one of our great SummerWorks partners. So to kick us off today, I'd like to introduce the president of Junior Achievement of Kentuckiana, Jennifer Helgeson. Jennifer, thanks for hosting us today.
Appreciate it. Well, thank you so much. And welcome to Junior Achievement. We are thrilled to have you here today as we kick off this year's SummerWorks program. Today, you might hear and see students who are learning about the incredible industries in our community through programming in BizTown, which is located right behind us, and Finance Park. Junior Achievement is proud of our partnership with SummerWorks as a host, providing valuable job placements and educating students about our incredible nonprofit sector. In Finance Park, where 7th graders and high school students participate, the SummerWorks pillar promotes the amazing workforce opportunities available throughout our community. SummerWorks also participated in our JA Inspire to Hire event this year with over 60 businesses participating and showing our students and young adults about their incredible industries. This year, we had more than 5,000 high school students who obtained information and insights into local industries, with many students even securing internships and job placements. We are so excited to continue strengthening our partnership with SummerWorks, making a lasting impact on our future community leaders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Jennifer, you might get a kick out of it. You know, I don't even know what you call it, but on your phone, you have to put a picture in when you call somebody, and it picks up a picture. The picture for me is the selfie I took right here at BizTown with the Junior Achievement kids. So it was such a great selfie. I wanted to share it with the world anytime I call somebody. So I think about Junior Achievement Austin. Thank you so much. Now let's hear from a couple of SummerWorks participants, folks who have experienced the wonders of the SummerWorks program and now who have great experience beyond that as well. First, Kenneth Albiati. Kenneth worked at GE Appliances back in the summer of 2016, shortly after graduating from Butler High School. Afterwards, he was hired full-time by GE Appliances and worked his way up to become a team leader and a manufacturing manager. He's had great success since his summer work experience, and we're so thrilled that he's here with us today. Please join me in welcoming Kenneth Albiati.
All right. I'd like to start off by thanking Mayor Greenberg and the SummerWorks organization for having me here to be able to speak. So kind of starting off with my experience, I was back in high school back in 2016, which is so long ago. And, you know, I was getting ready for summertime, getting ready to, relax, hang out with my friends, do all the things that you want to do at 18 years old. And my mom came in my room one day and she was like, "Here's this sheet. I need you to sign it. You're going to get a job over the summertime." And I'm like, okay. I did exactly what every 18-year-old would do at that time, and I never even looked at the sheet. She came back in and was like, "Did you sign that sheet?" I was like, all right, I signed it. I'll sign it. So I signed the sheet, and the sheet was to get involved in the SummerWorks. So I ended up starting my SummerWorks journey out at GE Appliances. It was the summer of 2016. And at the end of my time there that summer, they actually ended up offering me a full-time role. So I took the full-time role, and I, began my journey as a production worker at GE. Now, shortly after I started my role, I ended up meeting someone who is a great mentor to me today. Her name's Sheila. She works at GE Appliances. At the time, she was a team leader. She was my team leader in the area. And she really helped guide me over my years at GE Appliances. She's, coached me on interviews. She's showed me how to run as a team leader in my area. But she really instilled in me different things, starting a 401k, different things that you don't know as an 18-year-old, young adult. But that type of mentorship, that type of leader that somebody at my age at the time needs would have never have came to me, would have never happened if SummerWorks didn't get involved in my life, if my mom didn't pressure me into doing it. So that's one thing that I'm really thankful for, is that being able to work at somewhere like GE that helps develop me as I move up, or being able to have a mentor like Sheila to help develop me, coach me, and go through these things. SummerWorks, being able to start at a young age, getting that instilled in you in a young age to, go out there and be involved in the workforce, be involved at a big company like GE. It's intimidating at first. It's nervousness at first. You feel like, I'm not gonna fit. I'm not the perfect person for this role. It might be too hard. It might be, too much stress for you. But there's a quote that I always try to live by. It's by Denzel Washington. If you're familiar with Denzel Washington, and the quote goes, "Ease is the biggest threat to progress than hardship. It's a bigger threat to progress than hardship." So I always try to keep that as a mental note to me to say, hey, You know, the time might be hard now, the time might be rough now. You know, you might feel like you don't know what you're doing right now, but you know, it's catalyst. It's what's going to get you to that next step. So just keep pursuing, keep going. Parents, pressure your kids into joining SummerWorks. Don't let them get laid back how I was. Don't let them ease in the summer like I was trying to do. But yeah, that's kind of like my experience. Thank you all for having me again. Thank you to Mayor Greenberg and SummerWorks. Yeah.
Great job. Thank you so much, Kenneth, and thanks to GE Appliances for being such a great SummerWorks partner year after year. And next we have another young adult who participated in one of SummerWorks' work and learn projects in the technology field last summer. So Raina, will you come up and share a few words about your experience with SummerWorks? Please join me in welcoming Raina Sawyer.
Okay, everybody can hear me? Okay, good. Good morning, everyone. My name is Raina, and I am a sophomore at the University of Louisville. And I'm just here to share how my SummerWorks experience impacted me. Last summer, I had the great honor of being a part of the Tech Boss internship with the company Technique. During my time there, me and my amazing partners created a project that I would like to say I'm incredibly proud of. We designed a website and a game that was created to address real-world community issues. We created a platform that provides legal information to everyone nationwide with just the click of a button. The idea was simple but impactful: to make legal resources more accessible, from available lawyers in your area to just state laws that you might need to catch up on specific to your state or county. This experience was definitely a game changer for me because it allowed me to combine problem solving with technology, all while making a positive impact. Before joining Technique, I had little to no experience in the technology world. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. But this internship has opened so many doors for me that I didn't even know existed. It taught me everything from coding basics to leveraging technology to address real-world issues. What's even more exciting is that it really deepened my interest within the technology field, and I'm actually looking to change majors because of it. I'm more motivated than ever to learn and grow in this space, especially knowing that people like me aren't a big part of it. It's good to be someone that provides a face to people who might not think they are able to do it. The connections that I've made through this program have been invaluable, and I've had the opportunity to collaborate with some incredibly talented individuals, and those relationships have been instrumental in my growth. Whether it was brainstorming ideas, solving technical problems, or simply just having conversations about your career path, I've gained insights that will stay with me for years to come. SummerWorks and Technique have truly expanded my horizons, and I am forever grateful for this experience. It has inspired me to keep pushing myself, to keep learning, and to pursue the endless possibilities in the tech world. So I thank you guys for listening to me, and I encourage everyone to explore opportunities like this because you never know what doors it'll open for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Raina. Thank you so much, Raina. Blueprint 502 is another local organization deeply committed to youth development. They run SummerWorks, which is a year-round effort in partnership with Kentuckiana Works, who I mentioned earlier. So now I'd like to invite Lynn Rippey to come up and share more about this partnership on behalf of Blueprint 502. Thank you, Lynn, for everything you all do.
Well, good morning, and I want to introduce you to our SummerWorks staff. If you all will raise your hand when I call your name. Steve James is the manager and operator for SummerWorks. Chris, are we going to introduce you? Chris Locke is our Kentuckiana Works partner. Amy Doctor, who's working with all the businesses in town, getting them signed up for SummerWorks for private employment. John is our data manager, and Anastasia Chapman is out in the community helping bring young people into the program for the summer jobs. So we're super excited about the opening of the 2025 SummerWorks program. We have close to 1,000 kids signed up already. And and we have over 100 employers that are signed up with over 2,500 jobs that are open. So they're out there already. The jobs are ready for us, and we're getting kids signed up and applying for those jobs. SummerWorks is good and summer jobs are good for our community and as a whole, and for our young people for sure. I was preparing for today, and you guys just satisfied everything I'm getting ready to say. So a Connecticut pediatrician, Dr. Ballinger, reported to Fortune magazine that young people after COVID were coming to her, young person after young person, with anxiety, depression, and she said that she continued to tell them, go get a summer job. Go get a summer job. And then she came back to Fortune magazine and said, okay, I was really smart telling them to do that because they had a reason to get out of bed. They had a reason, and they felt a sense of purpose with their summer jobs. Their self-esteem grew. It was an ego-boosting experience, and they loved their paychecks. It also gave them a chance to have stronger mental health and long-term stability. So that's a pediatrician talking about it. A psychologist, Dr. Barbara Greenberg, told Fortune magazine that young people are around other responsible peers. So it's not just you doing a summer job, but your peers are out there working with you. And they're moving out of this protective bubble that their parents have them in. Yeah, you're shaking your head. You know, it's time, just about time. And this is right about the time when they should be moving out of that bubble. So this is a good thing for young people. They have opportunities to do things on their own and make their employer and employers proud of them. They also know that they're needed by their employer, and they learn to problem solve through this summer job. A Canadian study of 250,000 Canadian young people says that summer jobs help youth progress to better suited jobs and better suited careers because they have the chance to check out their preferences. They want to know, just like you did, is this going to work for me? Is this something I was interested in? I was interested in something else, but now I really know that I want to go down this path. It helps build their soft skills, their future references, as you were talking about, right? So, I mean, you make connections with people, and you're more successful in your job hunting after a summer job. The Louisville SummerWorks program helps employers fill their open positions, and youth are gaining valuable skills and earning money. And last year, we had a small focus group with young people after SummerWorks and talked to them about what they did with their money that they earned. And it was an amazing thing that many of our young people are helping their family's economy and just to make it from day to day. They're helping buy their own school clothes, pay their own phone bills. But in addition to that, they're helping to pay bills of the house. So, I mean, to say that, this is just a skill building thing for them, it's really not. It's affecting the entire family and the entire community. So the whole community wins through SummerWorks. So here's my task for you all. Let's get together, make sure our young people are signed up for SummerWorks by going online at summerworks.org. And also, private employers, you can either call 882-9413, or you can go online and register your summer job at summerworks.org. They need us. We need them. We need our young people to be engaged in life with us here. So let's all jump in and make sure that SummerWorks happens in a big way this year. Thank you.
Thanks, Lynn. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you so much to Lynn, to everyone with Blueprint 502, to the entire SummerWorks team that works year-round to make this program happen. Thank you all so much. I also want to thank SummerWorks funders who make this program happen as well, including the Louisville Metro Council, represented here today by Councilman Ken Herndon. Thank you so much for your support and for joining us. The Jewish Heritage Fund, the Ginkgo Fund, David Jones and Mary Gwynn Wheeler, and J.P. Morgan Chase, whose support over this year and so many other years makes this all possible. And before we get to questions about the program, I want to mention that, like SummerWorks, my administration is dedicated to fostering an environment where young people in our city can grow, can learn, can be successful. And so we also recently launched Thrive by 5, a new nonprofit that will ensure that every 3- and 4-year-old Louisville gets free access to quality early learning opportunities. Thrive by 5 just hired its first executive director, and our goal is to begin putting children into early learning classrooms in the next year or two. And by the time they're in high school, they'll be well on their way to being qualified to participate in the SummerWorks program that can then launch them into a successful career. So again, whether you're interested in science or technology, education, construction or skilled trade, social services or businesses, there's something for every young adult between ages 16 and 21 who lives in Louisville. You can get signed up at SummerWorks.org, and employers will be hiring throughout the spring. I'm going to take a quick break, answer any questions you all have about SummerWorks, and then I'm going to go on to a couple of other topics as well. Are there any questions about the SummerWorks program? Yes.
Hello, Mayor. It's Crystal here from the production lab. Just wanted to ask you, what is the deadline? Is there a deadline for SummerWorks?
What was it?
What's the deadline?
Our sponsor program that we have in the summer, the cutoff for that would be.
Yeah. Why don't you come on up? The question was about what is the deadline to apply. Again, applications are available now at SummerWorks.org. And one of our colleagues here is going to answer the rest of the question about the deadline. Yeah, come speak to the mic.
Well, for our sponsor program, it's going to be the first week of June would be the cutoff date because they start their employment with the sponsor sites on the 15th of June. So they need to get in and register for that. As far as the private side, we usually run that all the way up through August. And so they have all that time to try to find a private employer because a lot of times they may not find a job in the summer, but they want a part-time job after school. And so we have all those private employers that are still hiring for all that.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Thank you all very much, and encourage your young kids to imply. Thank you all so much for joining us here today as well. So yes. So I just want to address a couple other topics before opening it up to members of the media for our weekly questions from the media. And I want to share some news about some arrests that were just recently made yesterday in connection with a shooting that happened over the weekend in Shively. That shooting left one man dead and a woman in her late teens seriously injured. Thanks to some great cooperation between LMPD, who were able to assist Shively police with critical information on the suspects, an 18-year-old man and 2 juveniles were arrested in connection with that crime. When police executed the search warrant, they also found heroin, weapons, and a stolen car at the scene. I want to thank our officers for the great work that they did to make this arrest of a homicide within 48 hours of the crime, and that have helped get these dangerous individuals off of the streets. That's the type of work that we are going to continue to do as we work every day to make Louisville a safer city. I also want to touch on something else that's been talked about recently, and talk about a resolution that's been filed in Metro Council about what some folks are calling the People's Consent Decree. And to be very clear, we already have a consent decree that I signed along with the United States Department of Justice that is currently pending approval from a federal judge. And it is my hope that the federal judge approves the consent decree that I have signed. However, if the federal judge does not sign the consent decree, as I have said countless times and will continuously say moving forward, I will make sure that we at Metro government, that LMPD, implements the policies and practices that are in the consent decree. This includes having an independent monitor to validate the results and progress of LMPD. This includes community feedback and public accountability. Whoever is saying anything different is purposely misleading people, moving us backwards, dividing us. The stakes are too high right now as a community, and this issue is too important to be intentionally misleading and dividing our people across the city. I'm working hard with LMPD, with Metro Council, and others all across this city to unite us around police improvement and improved public safety. We've worked way too hard in moving this community forward, working to build trust, to implement reforms, and improve public safety. As we approach the 5th anniversary of Breonna Taylor's death, it's important for everyone in the community to know that we are 100% committed to police reform, accountability, and transparency. The chief has made that clear, and I've made that clear. I made that clear from day one. When I took office as mayor and had the United States Department of Justice findings presented to me during my first few weeks in office, I made the historic and important decision to publicly acknowledge the harm that's been experienced by people of color and issue an apology for those past experiences on behalf of LMPD and Louisville Metro government. So again, just to conclude, we have a consent decree pending in federal court. If for some reason that does not move forward, we will still continue implementing those reforms in that decree, alongside with an independent monitor, public accountability, and community feedback. That's what our city wants, that's what our city needs, and that's what our city will get. I hope that is helpful to clarify some questions that have been out there. And finally, before we open it up for questions, I also want to say that yesterday was a great day for Louisville in the Kentucky General Assembly. There were several bills that passed that are going to really help move our city forward if they're passed by the Senate and signed into law by the governor, as I hope both of those things do happen. House Bill 775 is going to really help with downtown economic development, help unleash billions of dollars of investment in downtown Louisville and new projects that right now cannot move forward because of the way that the arena TIF has been structured. Additionally, in that bill was also an incentive to help ensure we have long-term agreement to continue to bring Bourbon and Beyond and Louder Than Life back year after year after year to our city, and to help encourage other large festivals in this great city of hospitality that we have to locate in Louisville or elsewhere around the Commonwealth. And also House Bill 18. While I didn't support every provision in that bill, there was a lot in there that really helps our city, helps fix something that was passed last city that really supports our fire department, and also helps build more urban housing units in our urban core of our city, something that we desperately need as we work to build thousands and thousands of more units of housing to bring down the cost of housing for people all across our city. So again, yesterday was a good day for Louisville. I'm hopeful that the Senate passes both of these bills, that Governor Beshear signs these bills, and we can continue to move forward, building more housing, revitalizing downtown, and making our city safer, stronger, and healthier. Thank you all very much, and I'm happy to take any questions from members of the media. Here, we'll go from left to right here. Isaiah?
This new Department of Justice under President Trump has made it very clear how they feel about consent decrees. What have conversations been like with your office and the DOJ and what they want you to do as far as this consent decree?
Well, right now, the decision, to be clear, right now the decision is with the federal judge, not with the Department of Justice. The DOJ is still a partner. I have had conversations with some new members of the new administration in the Department of Justice. There is a filing deadline on March 20th, so that's coming up, where the Department of Justice is required to respond to the judge's last request. At that point in time, we'll see what their position is and if it has changed at all.
If they don't respond, what happens?
That is a good question, but the answer that I have is whatever happens, Louisville is moving forward. We're not waiting. We've been taking action, and as I've said, we are going to continue to move forward with or without the consent decree that's been filed in the federal court. We will move forward implementing these reforms and improvements in a formal way with community feedback and accountability built in.
If the consent decree doesn't move forward, can you explain specifically what an oversight plan would look like here locally?
Sure.
Without it?
Yeah. So within the consent decree, there are a lot of agreements that we've made as to how, and a lot of which we've already done, in terms of how we're going to improve training, what policies are going to be changed, what policing is going to look like for the years ahead, and how we're going to make these reforms an improvement. The purpose of the independent monitor is going to be someone who's not with LMPD or the city government that can look at the results and give comfort to the city to say, yes, LMPD is doing these things. LMPD is implementing the reforms and improvements that we want to help improve trust with the community, to strengthen our police department, and also making sure that we continue to improve public safety and reduce violent crime. So having a third party is, in essence, will be an independent validator of the results on the progress that we've committed to make.
You're looking at getting an independent monitor no matter what happens with the consent decree?
That's correct. I'm looking at getting an independent monitor regardless of what happens with the consent decree.
And
On that same note, the NAACP Louisville branch is calling for the city to Inspector General to be reappointed. Do you have any comment or response to that?
The question was about the NAACP putting out a statement that they are encouraging the reappointment of our Inspector General. I appreciate their input just as I appreciate anyone's input. I'm always listening out there in the community, and I will continue to think about that decision over the coming months. But just to be clear, the Office of Inspector General their role is to respond to civilian complaints that are filed by the community about actions with LMPD. So that is their primary role. What we're talking about here with the consent decree goes well beyond the scope of the Office of Inspector General.
And unrelated to everything we've talked about now, can you talk about the Starks building development and the efforts to try to revitalize that and what the city's doing, what you hope can come out of that?
Sure. The question was about the Starks building, which is a great historic building located on 4th Street in downtown Louisville. There's been a plan to revitalize and rehabilitate this Starks building for years. There is no one who wants to see the Starks building rehabilitated and hundreds of people living in the Starks building more than me. It's great for downtown. It's great for our city. It would be great for the entire state of Kentucky. When I became mayor, I worked to put $6 million of support for that project available for that project. For lots of different reasons, the project was never able to get the rest of the financing put together for it to happen. I remain committed to looking to ways to help that project, but the ownership and development team of that project needs to have a complete project that they can act on. I believe the city should be supporting projects that with the city's support will happen. So we don't do what we've done for decades in the past, which is allocate money that then sits on the sideline for years and years when it could have gone to support other projects, to create jobs while it's waiting. So we will be there to support the Starks building. The ownership and development group needs to secure the financing for the entire project, and then the city will fill that gap to make sure it can move forward.
Follow-up to that, if that project does get up off the ground, do you think that could be a kickstart to really helping revitalize, get people back downtown, living downtown?
So the question is, could that project be a kickstart, a jumpstart to continued activity downtown? Yes, but there are lots of other projects that can and will as well. Thanks to the support in the last session of the Kentucky General Assembly, where they committed $1 billion to our city, including a $100 million investment in downtown Louisville. Some of that $100 million is being used for a new vacant building conversion fund. And we've gotten some wonderful applications to participate in that program, where the city can now help ensure that we convert vacant buildings into housing or other uses that are going to activate downtown. So that will be coming out with announcements on those investments here soon. But additionally, there are lots of other projects as well. When I was talking about the great success we had in Frankfort yesterday, these bills that passed the House yesterday in the Kentucky General Assembly can unleash hundreds of millions of dollars of investment in downtown Louisville, create hundreds of new jobs, places to live, places to stay, places to eat. Lots of great new activity is happening in downtown Louisville and will happen as a result of what happened yesterday. So there's no one project that's the magic bullet. We're working on a lot of projects, including the transformation of the Belvedere, whose design is well underway. Let me just say to all my friends all across the city, if you haven't been downtown recently, come downtown. There is great energy. There is great excitement. There is so much to do. We welcome you to downtown, and I think you will find, as people from all over the country find every day of the year when they visit downtown Louisville, that it is a wonderful neighborhood. Downtown is your town. Oh, we have more.
Yeah, just a quick reaction on the EU's plan to oppose that 50% tariff on American whiskey beginning April 1st.
The question is about the EU's plan to impose tariffs on whiskey. I'm not supportive of that at all. I am a strong supporter of the Kentucky bourbon industry. We need to be doing everything we can locally across the state and across the country to support our bourbon distillers. It is such an important industry here in Louisville. It's such an important product to our state and to our country. And so I'm hopeful that will all work itself out.
bill in the state legislature right now that basically is one step away from the governor's desk. It deals with copper wire theft,
That's right.
among other infrastructure theft. One, do you support this bill, and how do you believe heightened penalties can sort of add on to the effort you guys are making here locally?
The question was about there's a bill in the legislature right now that's working its way through the system that would add penalties, enhance the penalties for copper wire theft in some of our critical infrastructure, including streetlights and broadband cables, for example. I strongly support that bill. I hope the governor signs that following passage by both the Senate and the House. It will help us. We've created a critical infrastructure task force that's had great success, arresting individuals who have been stealing copper wire and destroying our infrastructure, like our streetlights, that make it safe on the roads, that make it safe for our neighbors. Far too many of our streets, the streetlights are out because the copper wire has been stolen. So any available tool that we have, we're going to use to make sure that we continue to improve this, to continue to crack down on those that are disrupting our critical infrastructure and committing these unfortunate crimes. Anything else? Thank you all. Have a great day.